Get ready to hear from real experts with real results as we discuss the tools you need to start on your path to real wealth. Here's to success in your business and your career.
Welcome to this week's episode of Your Career, Your Business on Wealth for Life TV. Today I have with me Maree Planner from the Garden Feast. Now, what we're going to be talking about is that after having a nursery at the Garden Feast for 40 years, they've recently built and started a cafe. So I wanted to ask Maree about that and why that happened and what it means to the business.
Sure.
So why did you actually create the cafe, right?
Well, we realised that we needed more entertainment as part of the whole experience when people come here. We were finding that the older customers weren't gardening. They were going on holidays. They were going out to lunch. They were going to cafes anyway. And we were finding on a Sunday morning when the nursery traditionally used to be very busy, they were all out having breakfast. So we thought, well, there's a beautiful opportunity to have the food and the plants together. It's a lovely ambience. And we can also use it as a tool to promote the plants that we sell in the garden centres, particularly the edible ones, within the cafe itself as well. So it was to increase foot traffic, which it has done tremendously. Since we started, we're probably, I reckon 90% of the people that are coming through the nursery now are new, never been here before. And we're starting to see some of the older customers that used to garden that can't anymore for various reasons now enjoying the nursery again, but sitting in the cafe and just looking at it.
Cool. All right, well, I can imagine working in a retail environment, which is a nursery, and then creating a hospitality environment in terms of a cafe are quite different.
Very different.
Yeah.
When I thought I was busy before, you just times it by 100, and that's hospitality. It's very fast paced. It's changing all the time. Certainly the staff that you hire in the hospitality side are very different to the horticulturalists in the nursery. They think they work hard in the garden centre. No, it's a completely new world, but business is business. You know, it's still numbers. You're still trying to get ratios right, staff to food to costs. So it's still running a business and still numbers.
Cool. All right. So I know from talking to you all along the way, it's taken a little bit longer than you had originally thought it would take to open the cafe. What have been some of the challenges that you came across that you didn't realise would be there?
How long have we got? Look, I guess I know you've been on this journey with me a long time, Greg. However, just a précis version, if you like. About 5 to 7 years ago, we decided that we needed to change the nursery. We had to mix it up. We had to stay relevant, as I've mentioned before. So we decided that we would build a cafe, and we've also built some shops as well. So we had to go to town planning with our drawings. So it took pretty much a year to go through town planning, a year to go through building permits, a year to build the shops. Then we went back to town planning and said, hey guys, now we want to put in a cafe and we want to put in a function centre and we want a license for alcohol, and we basically we want live music, we want everything. So that's kind of like, whoa, this is a lot to ask. So that took another year. And so just all this, getting all the ticks in the right spots. We had a few objections. We're opposite a cemetery, and apparently live music would be disrespectful for the dead. So then we had to do acoustic reports. We had to do, it triggered all these other things, traffic management reports, car park demand reports, and so there was another 12 months. And not being in hospitality and being a little nervous about starting a business that I know nothing about, I decided that I would look at getting another professional in to lease that from me. So we decided we'd set up the kitchen and all the aesthetics and the flow and everything, and then say to a business owner, here you go, we can provide you with an instant market. We've got 2,500, 3,000 people on at various databases. We can give you an instant, here's so much a week if you want to. And we just found that they didn't have the vision of, look, you got no foot traffic here, not in a main street or anything. How's it going to work? So then I decided that, look, no one's going to have the same vision. We're going to have to do it ourselves. So here I am, a little grayer.
$300,000 in 14 months. $200,000 passive income for the rest of your life when you stop working. $200,000 in capital growth over a 2-year period. These are some of the results that our clients have achieved over the last 12 months. We're going to be running some special events in a town, in a city near you over the coming weeks called An Evening with Wealth for Life. Get in the market right now and take advantage of the ride that's about to take place. Go onto our website or call us on 1300 793 877 and make a time to book in and come to one of these events.
Cool. So through all of that and all of those new challenges and experiences that you hadn't had before, what professionals or what advice or other expertise did you rely on?
That's a good question. Well, certainly we had, in the initial stage, we had a town planning consultant deal with town planning. It's a whole other language, writing those reports. So if anyone's thinking about going to town planning, I'd strongly recommend a town planning consultant, worth their weight in gold. Then after that, we had a kitchen planning consultant, along with the chef that was looking at it originally. We had to work out how the kitchen was going to run, how much food we were going to, store, and so the layout of the kitchen had put a great deal of thought, and that's worked out pretty well. So other than kitchen consultants, I'd like to say that the aesthetics are all ours. My husband, who's also a physicist, did all the acoustics and some of the reports, so that was pretty handy. So we're lucky that we've got a good pool of people that we can draw upon to get most of the stuff done.
Cool. Yeah, cool. So basically, in essence, what you're saying is some of the skills that you had in the other parts of the business were transferable to an extent?
I guess the recruitment, I did use a hospitality consultant.
Yep.
Who helped me find the head chef and all the people initially. That was absolutely important because I don't know what to look for in a chef. That is a whole other skill. They need to be super organised. They've got to run their own kitchen. They've got to hire their own staff. They've got to know all the suppliers. Being not in that industry, I don't know who to buy fish from or, who's got the best bread. So we had to find someone that could slot into that role. And I guess we also hired a marketing consultant to be able to promote the business, to say, look, hello, we're open. So yeah, it's definitely not all just myself and my husband.
Cool.
You have to use outside help. And that's the hardest thing is I'm lucky enough to be on the planet long enough to accumulate a lot of people around me, which has been great.
Cool. So basically, from what I'm understanding is you're able to build this extra revenue stream for the business, A, because you felt that the environment had changed to a point where you needed it.
Yes.
The way customers had behaved had changed from what they were in the 70s and the 80s for the nursery.
Yes.
So you needed to cater to the changes for the nursery itself. Then some of the skills that you had already developed in the nursery helped you on the journey with the cafe.
Yes.
In terms of the accounts and running the business and certain things.
Yeah.
And for the other parts where you didn't necessarily have the skills,
yeah,
you then brought on the right professionals for things like you mentioned, town planning, hospitality, planning the kitchen, even the marketing, things like the website, for example.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
That weren't skills that you maybe had, but you had enough experience to know where to find those people.
Yes, and I think that's the hardest. I mean, we all start with Googling,
Yep.
but if you can if you know enough people, they go, oh, look, you know, Anne's really good at town planning. Give her a bell. You just got to keep networking and ask the right questions. But yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. I must admit, it's been a lot of sleepless nights. We're doing everything we do here is like for the first time. So it's given another lease on life, having another aspect to the business. You just not got the same spring, the same Christmas period where you expect so many sales. Everything's new now. Like our plant sales have increased by 40% since we opened the cafe doors.
Good.
Tick achieved, you know, that was the dream, because the plant side of it for this side of the business is probably a lot more profitable.
Yep.
The cafe can be once you get your numbers up.
Yep.
But already it's made a complete change to the business.
Good.
So I'm glad I did it. But you're probably asking me too soon. It's been 4 months.
Yep.
Cool. Yes.
Reminds me of a famous quote that I once heard. Robert Kiyosaki once said that starting a new business, you sleep like a baby, waking up every hour or two in tears and screaming.
That's exactly right. I can relate to that.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So that sounds exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting times. A lot of hospitality is really interesting, whereas, you know, in the nursery, people are really relaxed and chilled, and you say, you know, can you help me? And yeah, I'll be there with you in a minute. That's fine in the nursery. Can't say that in a cafe.
Cool.
Everything's, you know, so much more fast paced.
Hi Maree.
Hi, how are you?
Remember me?
I do remember you.
Yeah, you gave me my first orchid. You should see them now. They're beautiful.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Number 1, you want to know how to pay off the mortgage on your home in the fastest possible way. How about understanding and learning how you can become debt-free forever? Imagine paying less tax and having more money going to your pay packet every fortnight. What about securing your financial future in your retirement so you never have to worry and stress about money ever again? These are the things that we go through with you in a one-on-one consultation. Some of the results that we've achieved for our clients by sitting down with us one-on-one, we had one couple who created $300,000 in 14 months. We had another gentleman who's gone on to amass a fortune in real estate that's going to pay him $200,000 per annum for the rest of his life when he stops working. These are just some of the things that come out by sitting down with our advisors in a one-on-one consultation. Get your goal planning and you get your financial planning and your goal setting right in 2019. Take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that exist in the Australian property market right now. Call 1300 793877 or visit wealthforlife.com.au and book an appointment in with one of our investment advisors to get your money right in 2019.
So it's an exciting time for you and the business.
Yeah, for both of us. I think for 30 years I've been doing the same thing, Greg. All of a sudden, this is like, you know, they say a change is as good as a holiday. But it is. It's a new lease on life, being able to start a new part of the business. And I'm putting all my hobbies and interests in it as well, whereas we do our own herbal teas, fresh from the garden, giving people experiences that they wouldn't get at regular cafes. So, you know, you've got to have your point of difference as well.
Cool. How would someone find out more about the Garden Feast, Maree?
Well, they could visit our website, gardenfeast.com.au, or follow us on Facebook. That is the best way. Everything's up every day.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Maree.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
Cool. So basically, from today's episode, what we've learned is have a look at your business and see what the best opportunity, what's happening in your market and what changes you need to make. Because you, maybe like Maree, you want to add to your business another revenue stream, which is going to, you know, could possibly help the first revenue that you had, creates another revenue stream, but it creates a whole new dynamic and a whole new opportunity, rather than maybe necessarily closing the business or selling the business or even opening another business. There may be a new way of reinvigorating what you're doing right now. So until next week's episode, have a good week and be successful in what you're doing.